Most people get this wrong. They think every new credit card or fintech card is automatically a good deal, but the biggest mistake you need to avoid is trusting marketing instead of understanding how the card actually builds or affects your money. In this video, we are breaking down the Arro card in 2026 and answering the real question. Is it actually worth it? Or just another overhyped financial product? Let's start with the basics. The Arro card is designed to help people build or manage credit in a more flexible way than traditional credit cards. It often targets users who may not have strong credit history or want a simpler approval process. Now here's where it gets interesting. Instead of acting like a traditional credit card, where you borrow money first and repay later, many modern cards like this focus on controlled spending or linked accounts that reduce risk for the user. So if Alex is just starting out with credit, a card like this may feel easier to use than a regular bank-issued credit card. But here's the problem most people miss. Easy approval does not always mean strong credit growth. Some cards report to limited credit bureaus or have slower impact on your credit score depending on usage patterns. Let's break it down, step by step. First, consider how the card builds credit. The most important factor is whether your payments are reported to all major credit bureaus. If reporting is limited, your long-term credit growth may also be limited. Second, look at fees and hidden costs. Some cards may advertise simplicity, but include monthly fees, maintenance charges, or optional upgrades that increase total cost over time. Now here's where it gets important. Usage behavior matters more than the card itself. Jake might have the same card as someone else, but if he uses it consistently, keeps balances low, and pays on time, his results will be completely different. Third, think about limits and flexibility. Some fintech-style cards start with low spending limits. That is not necessarily bad, but it can feel restrictive if you need more purchasing power. In a minute, I'll show you a simple checklist you can use to decide if any credit-building card is actually worth keeping long-term, or if you should switch to a better option. Now let's simplify everything. The Arro card in 2026 is not automatically good or bad. Its value depends on fees, reporting strength, and how you use it. For beginners, it can be a starting point, but it is not always the strongest long-term credit solution. Let's summarize clearly. If you want simplicity and easy approval, this type of card may help you start. But if your goal is fast and strong credit growth, you need to focus on full credit bureau reporting, low fees, and consistent usage habits. If this helped you understand whether the Arro card is worth it, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe for more clear and honest finance breakdowns.